Hey everyone, I'm gonna make a live now for probably um, let me just take some notes of something here. Foramingo Valley. Sutura maxillaris, sutura lacrimal maxillaris. Let me just check it. Oh, this. I think that this position is better, no? And what do we have here? Temporal line, fossa sacral lacrimalis, linea temporalis. I just want to see where I actually finished here. So then I'm gonna continue taking a few notes. Sutura nasolacrimalis. And then I'm gonna go to this one. Then here a queen. And here I'm gonna adjust this. I hope you are having a lovely evening. Yeah. Okay, so okay, what else we have here? Fossa lacrimalis. Fossa lacrimalis, lacrimal sac fossa. Fossa sacri lacrimalis. And I finished at sutura nasal maxillaris. This is the sutura nasal lacrimalis. Let me see what is the pin. Yeah. Okay. So if we have this here, sutura nasal lacrimalis here, then the fossa sacri lacrimalis is actually here, and this will be my number 11. It might be a little hard to see, guys, but I will tell you as you take notes if you feel comfortable to take notes. Then let me just come here to the top. I'm gonna add here the number 11, which is the, let me just do to all of them. We have 11 here, and then we have 12 here, 12 here, 11, 12, and then we have 13. Okay, I'm gonna keep these 3 areas, and then we can carry on with the study of these areas. Hi Jurik, how are you doing? Where are you from, Jurik? Let's just interact with each other. How are you doing today? So far so good? This is the fossa sacri lacrimalis. And just to let you know, guys, that I will probably do these lives from next week on every day at 8 p.m. Oh, are you Russian? Nice. Спасибо. Спасибо? Привет. Nah. Sorry. All good here. And what do you do in Russia? Of course, you live in Russia, but do you work? Do you study? Spina nasalis anterior. So we have the fossa sacri lacrimalis, which is also the lacrimal sac fossa in English. This is the Latin name, which is. Oh, what do you study in Russia? I live in the UK, but I'm actually Brazilian. So you can see here that the fossa sacrolacrimalis is located on the medial wall, because it's more towards the midline of the orbit, and it's just below the anterior part of the frontal bone. Okay, frontal bone is this bone here, and is also adjacent to the nasal cavity, which is this area here that is not possible to see from this view, but it's actually possible to see from this view. Whoa, okay, that's scary. Tell me, what's the main difference between hacker and cracker? Okay, so we have here the fossa sacrolacrimalis, and well, as you probably, I'm not sure if it is possible to notice, but this is a shallow depression that will serve as the the house, the bone house of the lacrimal sac, which is part of the nasolacrimal system, especially the drainage system. And the lacrimal sac will basically collect tears from the eye via the lacrimal ducts, and it will drain then into the nasal cavity through the nasal lacrimal duct. Have you ever had that feeling when you start to cry? If you if you cry sometimes, that looks like your nose will be blocked. Well, this is the feeling. Gotcha. Oh, this is a kind of a hacking the human body. I'm not like you hacking computer systems, but I really think that is an wow. I personally like, actually. I would love to watch some of your videos if you have, or if you are planning to do in the future. Now, why is so important this structure? Why do you think that is so important? Well, inflammation or even obstruction in this area, um, let's say, such as dacryocystitis, which is the infection of the lacrimal sac, usually will lead to swelling and sometimes pain and tearing, and trauma to the medial orbital, let's say some trauma here on the medial orbital wall, let's say this area here, especially you can see a lot in martial arts like a boxing. Oh, you probably know this, Jurek. Should I say Jurek or Yurik? Well, uh, just correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But yeah, I'm not sure if you used to practice sambo in Russia. But yeah, this is an area that can be affected by a nice punch of a sambo fighter. And mm, second one, okay, Yurik. Like who remembers here Fedor Emelianenko talking about Russia with our special guest, Yurik. So trauma to the medial orbital wall will damage this region, and it can potentially disrupt the tear drainage, and even cause epiphora, which is excessive tearing. People cry without stop, but without have the feeling, the emotion. It's just It's just so, let's say, crying, crying without, well, without no reason. It's too much, but yeah, just a broken bone. Now we have the spina. Let me just write it down here. Spina nasalis anterior. But I believe that talking about hacking, because we talked nowadays, you see a lot of videos talking about hacking your health system, hacking your mind. It's interesting to see that AI didn't know what AI didn't know. Anterior nasal spine here. Okay, so, and this is projected downward here from the, and is located on the anterior part of the maxilla. If you see, here is the maxilla, and this is the anterior part of the maxilla, and it is at the base of the nasal bridge. Yeah, I think that it is, no? So, yeah, know how to hack your movement. It's an expression that you can use in so many things. Serious? I didn't know. Yeah, usually most of the material that they use for these lectures are based on classical clinical anatomy books of head and neck. And what I usually do, and I will not lie here, because nowadays AI is a tool that people, I personally believe, as, because if you don't know how to use, we are going to be behind people that are already using and making a lot of money. Of course, that you cannot rely totally on AI, but I personally usually I make a resume of what I want to talk. Then I make a script, and I know that my script sometimes fails because I think like like a Brazilian, so sometimes I need to adapt to the English uh, uh, audience, and mostly English. Yeah, I did draw. Yeah, this one I draw, this one, this one, this one as well, this one, all based on lectures that I've been sharing here on my live. Yeah, they like. So sometimes I even draw people. I have a few others here. I have people saying, Leo, you shouldn't work as a lecturer because you don't make too much money being a lecturer. You should actually do tattoos. Do you know tattoo? So people say you should do tattoo because tattoo artists make a lot of money here in the UK. So yeah, I made this one. I'm really proud of this one. I actually like this one. And I was doing a few days ago a game on my TikTok account where I made a drawing of an actor, and I asked people to just try to guess who was the actor. This one is supposed to be Tom Cruise. It was more like a caricature, a comic caricature. Hey Thomas, how you doing? So I did a few drawings here. Some good, some not. Oh, you probably know this one. It's not that hard, despite being very different, but it's still the guy. The essence is here. Now, this is based in a movie. If you never watched it, I highly recommend is the Mars. Look for cockroaches in Mars. Sorry, in Mars. This was one of my followers on TikTok. Another follower 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 on TikTok. I didn't like this too much, to be honest. I personally think that it's nice. It's not nice. So interesting, because I use it pink and here is pretty much orange because of the light. Oh, I was watching a movie and then I decided to draw this scene. This I'm just making a quick sketch, testing something that I've been trying to implement in my drawings, which is exploding structures. I will show you very soon. If you like Gojira or Godzilla, I think that because he's Russian and he is saying I like in Portuguese or maybe in Russian as well. When we say I, sounds like the letter A and E together. Sorry, A and I together. Oh, do you like yeah, that I is something that I've been working on to do in the near future. Well, it was supposed to be here, but yeah. Exploding drawing. I love Godzilla. Wow, I love all the movies of Godzilla too. I love enemies as well. This is another guy that I drew on TikTok. I was just playing with some how do you say, is kind of a design style. Yeah, these are actually my iPods, and I made this one today. Let me just grab my other sketchbook to show you. Just a second, guys, and I'm gonna come back to the topic. He might be saying a few words, saying a few words that might not make too much sense because of the way that spell and writing in Portuguese or even Russian, I think. No worries, I made a lot of mistakes as well. I made this one a few weeks ago. And what is the other one? I was supposed to have another one here. Oh, Harry Potter 3. Harry Potter is nice. I like. Oh, probably is in this one. Is in this one. Now I need to find. I made this last year. Is this skull of a tiger? What are your expectations for the new movie, the new... It will be a series, no? Of Harry Potter. No, Yurik. Yeah, it's called a tiger. And a bunch of fish. I cannot show some drawings because we have kids in the room. Well, I'm not sure if we have kids in this room here, but usually we have kids in this room, so we need to be careful. Not all drawings are suitable to see. I can't find the other drawing that I made it. I made one today actually, and here it is. And this is another friend from TikTok. Thank you, TGR. Thank you. Welcome to the team. We are here with Thomas and Yurik. Thomas from England, Yurik from Russia. And how about you? Where are you from? And actually, Yurik mentioned about the eye. I have one of the eye here. This one. A more old textbook, anatomy textbook style. These two. I personally like fine line, guys. But again, this is my preference. And here I have a bunch of other drawings from some time in 2023, probably. Some unfinished, others finished, others were just a test. I was trying a few things to see if it was going to work. No, I think Thomas, it because when he say I am, like Yurik is saying, yes, I see. I see is like the just the I like himself. It because probably when he writes, he's writing like when he pronounce in Russian, a is like a, and I is like it's like this. Let me just show you to clarify to everybody here. In Brazilian Portuguese, we have the alphabet, like in English, a, a, e, I, O, U. Okay. In Portuguese, we pronounce a, e, I, O, U. When I say in in English, it sounds like a I am. It can be like this. I am. Yeah. So the correct way, Yurik, is saying, but this. I see. What else? Yes, I see. Yes, I see. And so on. No worries. I think that, guys, I have a lot of problems with my English isn't good at all, but I just survive. Now that I've been trying to improve because I got a academic job, so I need to speak fluently with people especially the students, because you know, students are students. They might not be happy with you, or they might feel confused when you start to. But Thomas, are you from the UK? No. Thank you guys. Well, I was saying that this part is projecting here downward from the anterior part of the maxilla at the base of the nasal bridge. Okay, nasal bridge is this, is basically this part here. Okay, you can interact with each other if you want to. Just going to continue here, just don't lose the 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 point. So as you can see, this is small and sharp bone projection actually that will form the anterior margin of the nasal aperture. And there is another name for this that I don't remember. I need to double check here. Sorry, it's hard to remember everything, but we have this area here, which is the what is the name? Let me just grab here. Is the columella? The columella. Columella is basically this part that separates not the front, but if you touch it, we have the nostrils here, and we have an area that divides the nostrils, and this area is called columella. Below the nose, we have the subnasal and the nasal here. That's nice to see you interacting, guys. That's good. And okay, so I mentioned that it will form the anterior margin of the nasal aperture, and it will contribute to the formation of the external shape of the nose. So it's interesting because if this, let's say, is more like this, the nose will follow the flow of the bone, the direction of the bone. If this part is more prominent, the nose will be more prominent, will follow the flow. It's interesting, no? And it will basically serve as an attachment place for the nasal septum and the other soft tissues that will surround that area. And it's clinically relevant because this structure is first is palpable. If you touch the base of your nose now, not the base is here, but this part here, if you touch, you are going to feel the bone. Okay? And if fracture, let's say in a facial trauma, which can involve an accident or even a fight, this will affect the nose and will cause a nasal fracture. And its prominence can also influence the aesthetic of the face, and is considered it's extremely relevant, especially for plastic surgeons and orthodontic procedures. Do you feel it? Yes, pretty much. Thank you guys. Thank you for the support. 4 likes. Let's go. Okay, now the next one is the sutura zygomático maxillaris, which is the number 13, which is this suture here, separating the orange color from the yellow color. Now, let me just write this structure somewhere, probably here. And the sutura zygomático maxillaris. Sutura zygomático maxillaris. It's a bit hot today here in the UK, guys. How about your place? Is it hot? maxillaris, or zygomático maxillary suture. Zygomático maxillary suture. Oh, it's coming close. That's interesting. Oh, in Brazil, the school term starts in March and ends in September because of the summer holidays. In Brazil is no, actually September, no, November, I think, because the summer holidays are in December, January, February. They basically have December, January, February, 3 months, and 1 month uh, or 1 2 weeks between June and July, because we and in Brazil they, well, this was in the past, I don't know now, but in the past they used to have, they don't have like a half term like in the UK, and so it's it's straight, and even the teaching in Brazil is different comparing with here in the UK. That's more self-direct learning. I'm not sure about in your place, Yurik. It's like teachers go to the class and they teach students, because I'm not sure if you are already in a academic position, studying at the in the university, but at the university here in the UK, students basically need to learn by themselves. I remember in Brazil we had the teacher teaching us the topic and telling us what we should be doing. Here is different. Here we selected the topic and the students need to study by themselves and then discuss the topic. It depends of the approach, but it varies depending of the institution. Yeah, in China is the same. It's more teaching centered. Um, I know that Russia, China, and Brazil is pretty much the same, which is personally is my favorite way of teaching. I don't like to, well, I know that's important. Students learn by themselves, but I like that this is what makes teaching so amazing. And you probably know this, Yurik, because Yurik is learning to be a hacker. So so he will probably love to teach people how to work in cybersecurity, probably, because hacking is not just for bad things, though. Usually people think that is only for bad things, but in my work for good and extremely good things, especially nowadays, everybody looking for someone to protect their systems. Yeah, so, yeah, and once you know how to attack, you know how to defend. I personally believe that this is a saying that makes sense. If you know how to attack, you know how to protect yourself. Yeah, that's nice. What means this, Thomas? I'm not sure. I don't understand. Well, what I was talking now about the suture, the zygomatic maxillary suture, and remember that the sutures are basically the junction between two different bones. Um, and here we have the zygomatic bone, which is part of the cheekbone, and maxillary bone, which is part of the upper jaw. Some people like to say upper jaw. No. And this suture will lie, if you see here, will lie along the lateral aspect of the face. Let me see if I drill this suture here. Yeah, here is much more evident. So you have this suture here um, forming part of the zygomatic arch and contributing as well to the structural integrity of the midface. When I say mid-face, okay? And it's one of the severe sutures involved in craniofacial development. So as you grow up, and this you are going to see if you, one day you have children, the face, the cranium will change in accord with the development of the brain, and it will get a point where it will, the sutures will solidify and will not move anymore. I personally, I know that this is might sound a little bit holistic, but I personally think that those cranial practices made by uh, realized by osteopaths, rhofists, work super well. Yeah. What on your school? Do you feel as well? Well, if you try to find this point, this spot right here, you will notice that it's really painful, and you can even feel like a shock running towards the the subnasal the nasolabial fold, which is that line that grows more and more, turns more evident as you age. Oh, you were so young. Okay. Yeah, you were very young. Well done. Keep studying. Keep doing whatever you are doing, and you are going to be the best. Yeah. Now, this suture is clinically relevant uh, in mid-face fractures, okay? Especially mid-face fractures. And we have a fracture called Le Fort fractures. And here, okay, disruption here can lead to malalignment of the cheekbones, because imagine if you have a fracture here, the cheekbones, it will be different. It will change the symmetry of your face. So be careful. Don't start a fight that you cannot win. And don't go to a fight without a real and special reason to survive. Otherwise, just run. Because this practice running. Running is good. Fight is also good. It's good to protect yourself. I practiced Muay Thai and the Jiu-Jitsu and the boxing back in the past. So it's good to know how to defend yourself. I practice in a gym, MMA gym in Brazil, but never practice MMA, because MMA is, as the name says, mixed martial arts. You mix everything and you practice everything in a class. I used to practice jiu-jitsu in a time, Muay Thai in another time, and boxing in another time. So yeah, it was different times for each practice. But nowadays, believe or not, I teach Tai Chi and Qigong, which is really good actually. It helps a lot with the strength of your legs. It was something that helped me to don't be uh, to protect myself when people tried to put me down. Yeah, you should do Tai Chi, Qigong. Okay, I was saying about the fractures here. Careful, because it can cause asymmetry. Oh, and yeah, and is also a key landmark in reconstructive surgery. So guys, I really appreciate your time here. I really have to go now because I have to teach someone. I have a private class now to run, and then I have to do this. Today I covered the fossa lacrimalis, espina nasalis anterior, and sutura zygomático maxillaris. Tomorrow I will be back with another class around 8 p.m. UK time. Okay, this time I will be starting another class tomorrow, another live. So if you are awake, stay tuned and see you tomorrow. Thanks, Yurik. It was nice to meet you. Don't forget to follow me and activate the ring bell to receive notifications if you want. If you want. If you don't want, no worries. But it was nice to have a chat with you guys. Take care. See you next time.